Michael Weatherly, and what I'm bringing to the show is definitely not the buff beauty thing. What I'm bringing to the show is actually still a mystery to many of the people who work with the show. They've been trying to figure out what that is, that extra component. Could it be that I'm always...
We're going way back in the archives this morning. First Bill Gates, now actor Michael Weatherly. That was Michael speaking to Entertainment Tonight in 1994 from the set of the soap opera Loving. It was one of his first acting jobs. He loved every minute of it. Weatherly later made a name for himself as Special Agent Anthony DiNozzo on the hit CBS drama NCIS.
Look how cute you were back then. And guess what? You're still cute. Now he plays a psychologist on the CBS series Bull. He plays Dr. Jason Bull. Runs a consulting firm that uses psychology and technology to pick the perfect jury for the desired outcome of each trial. So in this preview of the season 2 premiere, he tries to convince a colleague they're going to take a case.
Who gave you a check for $250,000?
The Clayton family estate. They're pressuring the DA to try the young widow Clayton for the murder of her husband.
Murder based on...
Based on the fact that she shot him, a fact she does not dispute. Can you say money in the bank?
Okay, but according to the paper, the late Mr. Clayton was attempting to slice and dice his dearly beloved just prior to her deciding to use him for target practice. I believe they call that self-defense.
Maybe. Or maybe she shot first and he stabbed her in self-defense. Who cares? It's a $250,000 retainer, and another $250,000 if we actually go to trial and find Mrs. Clayton guilty.
Wow. I had no idea the famous Dr. Jason Bull can be bought.
For $250,000, not only can I be bought, you can gift wrap me.
We are pleased to have Michael Weatherly back at the table. You know what, Michael? He's cocky, got lots of swagger. Is that difficult for you to play?
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from.
Is that hard?
Well, he is, that episode is called School for Scandal, and he's a scoundrel.
Yeah,
This character is cut from a certain cloth.
But you've got a new showrunner who said, let's change things up. What did, tell us.
Yeah, well, last year, and we launched really successfully, and it's such a clever conceit that Phil McGraw and Paul Attanasio came up with, and Paul was one of the guys who created House and was involved in that. And, you know, Mr. Spielberg helping produce the project is always, that's always a good guy to have in your corner. So we came out of the box really strong, but I think last year everyone collectively said, how can we make the show even, you know, even bigger and better, and always trying to improve things. We brought in Glenn Gordon Caron, who created Moonlighting,
yes.
Medium, and he has a silver tongue.
What did he say?
He said Bull's too perfect. He's bulletproof, pardon the pun. And we got to break him up and make him flawed and vulnerable and porous, and that's just been a blast, because now I don't know what's going to happen page to page.
So what are some of his vulnerabilities?
Well, he has a hard time sleeping in bed. So he sleeps on his couch quite a bit, and usually there's a bottle of something next to him when he wakes up. So he has a couple of...
Not water.
No, it's not Evian. So he's got some self-destructive tendencies, and he's also a bit of a flim-flam man, and he wings it. And sometimes when you're in charge of somebody else's life and they catch you winging it, they don't really appreciate that too much. So,
isn't this based a little bit on Dr. Phil?
Phil, yes.
Didn't Oprah meet Dr. Phil when he was a consultant to her?
Yes. Yes, that's how most people knew of Dr. Phil, because Oprah actually says, Charlie, that without Dr. Phil, she wouldn't have won that case. He was a trial consultant for the big beef trial. And she brought in Dr. Phil McGraw, who, as you know, is very blunt speaking, very truth-telling.
But that's part of...
calls it as he sees it.
Right, I mean, that's also part of owning a perspective and manifesting something and creating the conversation you want to have. And it's a tactic, and I think...
so it's based on him. What's his involvement in the show, loosely?
Well, you know, every week Phil's involved episode to episode and is working closely with Glenn Caron on sort of the worlds that you get involved in. You know, when you're trying to do jury analysis, that's one thing of the show that we concentrated on a lot. But now what we're concentrating on is the character of Bull and how he is held together with duct tape, basically.
Is he going to get love this season?
There's a lot of love.
I don't mean get love.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of love.
Find love.
Going on.
Find love.
There's some funny things. And Melania keeps calling him, which is they're having a sort of secret conversation in the back. That's not true.
No. I was going to say,
Melania?
Michael, what you talking about?
I just make things up.
But, you know, he prides himself on being able to read people and their characters. Can you do that?
No, not at all. I mean, I can't. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. They are a complete mystery to me. I try to anticipate. My dog, I can understand my dog because it's food or a ball or a walk.
But we've heard at your house the tooth fairy is very generous.
Yes.
What happens at your place?
There's a lot of, well,
How much does a tooth fairy pay for it?
$7 a tooth
Wow.
we pay in our house. With inflation, I
Where
think.
does the tooth fairy get that figure? That's a. Do you remember how much you got for it too?
Not $7.
No, mine was. I thought mine was 50 cents. Honestly.
And 2 chocolates. There's a little,
Wow.
because we're trying to kill the other teeth.
Well, they're also genius children. They have good taste in television. They watch
Their favorite
Charlie
show
Rose.
is Charlie
right?
Rose on PBS. Yeah, they have become strangely addicted to Charlie, which is I guess America.
We attract all ages.
Yeah.
And all variety of
And
viewers.
you've got a
Charlie.
niece on This Is Us. So what show are you watching?
I know. So This Is Us is our direct competitor at 9 o'clock, 8 Central on Tuesdays. So I have not seen my lovely niece Alex on This Is Us, but I hear she does a wonderful job.
DVR.
Bull is very good too.
Bull's all right.
Congratulations,
Thanks, Michael.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thanks.
Say hello to your kids.
Really good.
Thank you.
You're the genius children.
Michael Weatherly of fans. Thank you so much. You can watch the season 2 premiere of Bull on Tuesday night at 8 Central right here on CBS.